Hi, I'm Bob Lebzelter. Welcome to the October 4th, 2021 version of Hometown Happenings. A 51-year-old mystery involving a Conneaut man killed in a plane crash may be coming to an end. 48-year-old James Wilson and 8 others died January 28, 1970, when their plane, bound from Cleveland's Burke Lakefront Airport to Detroit, crashed in icy Lake Erie. Wilson was general manager of McDowell Wellman Engineering and a World War II vet. He was flying to Detroit for a groundbreaking for a new building. The other bodies were recovered by May when the lake thawed, but not Wilson's. The family learned recently a body was found in March 1970 at Point Pelee Park in Ontario. Nobody connected it at the time to the crash, and it was eventually buried. The family learned on the 100th anniversary of Wilson's birth that the body was going to be exhumed. That took place last week. Results of DNA testing should be known within a week. Everything from clothing found to dental records indicate the body could be Wilson's. His sons have all given DNA samples. Hopes are to bury him at National Cemetery in Bourne, Massachusetts. A 24-year-old North Kingsville woman was killed in a crash at Route 6 and 7 in Pierpont Township at 6:33 p.m. Friday, October 1st. The Ohio Highway Patrol reports the victim, Tassie Stewart, was westbound on Route 6 when she failed at a yield to stop sign. She was struck by a northbound vehicle on Route 7, driven by 39-year-old Terrence Naughton of Silwickley, Pennsylvania. The OHP reports Naughton's vehicle traveled off the west side of Route 7, overturning several times. Stewart's car traveled off the west side, striking signs and a utility pole. Naughton and 2 passengers received minor injuries. Pierpont Fire and EMS assisted. A convicted rapist is set for a November 19th appeal in his conviction on multiple charges. Justin Firmage of Kingsville was indicted in 2019 on 8 counts of rape and 8 counts of gross sexual imposition. Firmage was accused of raping a minor multiple times over several years in Conneaut. He was found guilty on all counts and was sentenced to 155 years in prison. Firmage's appeal states that there was insufficient evidence to convict. There were inconsistencies in testimony, and there was the belief that there should have been a mistrial after hearing from a witness outside the courtroom. A 45-year-old Ashtabula man was found guilty late last month on a charge of gross sexual imposition. Bradley Shade of 1906 Bob White Drive was convicted of the 3rd-degree felony. Common Pleas Judge Thomas Harris revoked his bond and ordered him into custody in the Ashtabula County Jail. Shade was accused of fondling a 12-year-old in March 2019. He will be sentenced November 8th. A 28-year-old Concord Township man accused in the murder of a Euclid couple was returning with his parents to hear the verdict Friday, October 1st, at the Lake County Courthouse in Painesville, when he instead shot and killed himself. Authorities say Blake Sargi was out on $1 million bond during the trial, which began September 20th. Sheriff Deputy Jeff Sherwood said as people were reassembling in the courtroom, Sargi didn't go upstairs, but instead went to the side of the courthouse where he apparently shot himself. The incident happened at 2:50 p.m. Sargi was facing 4 counts of aggravated murder and 4 counts of murder, as well as robbery and drug charges. He was accused in the January 2020 murders of 38-year-old Heavenly Goddess Murphy Jackson and 39-year-old William Jackson Jr. of Concord Township. It was alleged Sargi was addicted to pain medication and had run out of money when he reportedly committed robbery and murder. The defense said Sargi was acting in self-defense. Eric Kujala's retirement from education was short-lived. Kujala retired as Geneva superintendent when the previous school year ended. He has since been hired as an administrator looking at safety and security in Conneaut schools. He took the job at the request of Conneaut Superintendent Lori Riley. Kujala was superintendent a few years ago when the district bought door jams teachers could use to keep intruders out in case of an emergency in Geneva schools. Kujala will work with Conneaut's school police officer Tim Rose. And speaking of Conneaut schools, 3 of Conneaut's 4 schools have been recognized for their positive behavior programs. Bronze medals have gone to Conneaut Middle School, Gateway Elementary, and Lakeshore Primary from the Ohio Department of Education. The program emphasizes kindness, safety, and responsibility. Fall may be here, but closed roads, lane restrictions, and detours are still a fact of life. Expect occasional lane restrictions on Interstate 90 in Conneaut through the end of October as new lighting is installed at the Route 7 exit. A culvert replacement on Route 7 in Monroe Township will cause closure through mid-month between routes 167 and 84. Detour is 167 to 193 to 84, but that's not all. Route 7 in Williamsville Township will be closed south of California Road through late October. Detour is 87 to 193 to 322. Route 20 resurfacing around the Conneaut Plaza is still scheduled to be completed by the end of the month. Westbound traffic will continue to use an alternative route. The work has created great stress for West Side merchants. You can bet they'll be happy when that's over with. The Conneaut Health Department is monitoring 30 COVID cases, a sharp increase from summer when there at times was only 1 case. Health officials say mask up and get vaccinated if you aren't already. State Senator Sandra O'Brien, whose district includes Ashtabula County, has co-sponsored a bill that would ban abortions and impose felony charges immediately if the U.S. Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. Exceptions would be allowed if the mother's life is at risk. Well, RAM may be returning to Ashtabula County next year. RAM stands for Remote Area Medical Clinic and was held at the former Dillard's location in Ashtabula Town Square in the spring of 2018 and 2019. The effort brought scores of health professionals and volunteers to provide free medical, dental, and optical care without question to anyone who felt the need for the services. In all, $400,000 worth of care was provided. People received examinations by optometrists, picked out glasses, had them made in a truck outside while they waited. Locations are being scouted for next year. Since the last RAM event, the mall has been sold. And speaking of returning, also returning after 2 years, is the Boo Wow Walk, a big fundraiser for the Ashtabula County Animal Protective League. It will be held October 9th at Kent State University, Ashtabula at noon. Dress yourself and your dog for Halloween and walk the grounds picking up doggy treats and toys. Registration fee is $35 and participants are asked to obtain pledges as well. The goal is $20,000. Sign up at acapl.org. And speaking of the APL, check out Moose, one of the pooches who was available for adoption. He could very well be a player on next year's new Cleveland Guardians baseball team. Check this out. And now in slow motion. Moose was featured on the cable access program Pick Your Next Pet at the ACAPL. A few days after that ran, Moose was adopted. But there's still many great pets available for adoption at the Green Road location in Kingsville. And pick out your next pet on the Conneaut Cable Access channel or on demand on YouTube. There's a link on the Cable Access Television Facebook page and the Facebook page for the Ashtabula County Animal Protective League. Also, coming up, the Ashtabula Arts Center presents Peter Pan the Musical, the weekends of October 8th, 15th, and 22nd. For details and to order tickets, visit ashtabulaartcenter.org. Masks are mandatory. Watch for video on this production. The Conneaut Arts Center will host a display by local photographer Rebecca Nymanen during regular hours through October 12th, or from October 12th through November 6th. A reception featuring Buccia Vineyard wines will be held October 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. Fall is here, and that means harvest book sale time October 4th through the 9th at the Kingsville Public Library CIMAC Welcome Center. The sale includes DVDs and audio and large print books. It will be held weekdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Medicare specialist Ann Wiley will speak at Kingsville Public Library October 7th at 12:30 p.m. and then again on October 21st at 5:30 p.m. Lake Point Nursing and Rehabilitation will offer free blood pressure, blood sugar, and balance checks. Starting October 12th, the Kingsville Public Library will hold a 4-part series discussing useful tips and tricks using Microsoft Office. It will be held Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. for 4 weeks. Now this is a live class, although an online Facebook alternative will be held the same dates at noon. To register for the in-person class, call 224-0239. Trunk or Treat will be held October 16th at the Conneaut Public Library parking lot from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. People can decorate their trunks and offer treats. There will be face paintings, games, a costume contest, and bring your friendly leashed costumed dogs. So that's your friendly leashed costume dogs. Conneaut Public Library hosts Book Babble Teen Book Club, and that's October 21st from 4 to 5 p.m. Bring any book you've recently read to talk about. The Next Chapter Book Club for 4th and 5th graders meets October 25th at 3:30 p.m. to talk about the book No Talking by Andrew Clements. And last but not least, the Ashtabula County Covered Bridge Festival is back October 9th and 10th in downtown Jefferson and at various bridges. There will be souvenirs, crafts, entertainment, demonstrations, a parade, kids' rides, and games and food. I'm Bob Lebzelter. That's this week's Hometown Happening. Thanks for joining us.